When the King of France invaded Holland in 1672, the owners of bank money were keen to buy receipts at any price so they could bury the bullion in their gardens after withdrawing it from the Bank of Amsterdam. As a consequence of this calamity, every merchant found that in order to purchase receipts, he or she was required to spend a lot more, say, bushels of corn, or the worth of bushels of corn, upon these receipts. Say, previously 1 guilder would exchange by 30 bushels of corn. After this calamity, or during the calamity, 1 guilder may exchange for 300 bushels of corn. That is 1 guilder in bank money. Smith wrote, "The enemy, informed of the constitution of the bank, might even buy them up, in order to prevent the carrying away of the treasure. In such emergencies, the bank, it is supposed, would break through its ordinary rule of making payment only to the holders of receipts." Smith continued, "The holders of receipts who had no bank money must have received within 2 or 3% of the value of the deposit for which their respective receipts had been granted." Smith continued, "The bank, therefore, it is said, would, in this case, make no scruple of paying, either with money or bullion, the full value of what the owners of bank money who could get no receipts were credited for in its books, paying at the same time 2 or 3% to such holders of receipts as had no bank money, that being the whole value which, in this state of things, could justly be supposed due to them." Further, Smith said, in 1672, when the French king was at Utrecht, the Bank of Amsterdam paid so readily as left no doubt of the fidelity with which it had observed its engagements. Some of the pieces which were then brought from its repositories appeared to have been scorched with the fire which happened in the town house soon after the bank was established. Those pieces, therefore, must have lain there from that time." End quote. Smith again. "The Bank of Amsterdam professes to lend out no part of what is deposited with it, but for every guilder for which it gives credit in its books, to keep in its repositories the value of a guilder either in money or bullion. That it keeps in its repositories all the money or bullion for which there are receipts in force, for which it is at all times liable to be called upon, and which in reality is continually going from it and returning to it again, cannot well be doubted." And further Smith said, "At Amsterdam, however, no point of faith is better established than that, for every guilder circulated as bank money, there is a correspondent guilder in gold or silver to be found in the treasures of the bank. The city is guarantee that it should be so."